Parenting when you've got teenagers or kids in that preteen age is so challenging. I am walking this out myself right now as I have kids 13, 11, 9, and then I've got a 2-year old. But learning to parent in all these different developmental ages is something that most of us have to grow through. We don't just automatically know how to do it. It's challenging as their development changes, especially in this preteen age gap, because you've got hormones creating all this moodiness. You've got a lot of different social and peer pressures that they're experiencing for the first time. You've got all the awkwardness that happens in the middle school age range, and the fact that they're trying to navigate all of that, on top of the fact that their frontal lobe is not even fully developed. So the part of their brain that helps them to reason through things, to logic through things, to make rational decisions is not yet fully developed. So kids in this age range are really operating primarily out of their emotional brain, which is why sometimes you might see them make a decision and you're like, why would you do that? That was the dumbest decision. It's because they are making decisions out of their emotional brain. And it's really important for us as parents to remember that as we're interacting with our kids around, all the things that they're navigating, around their moodiness, around their impulsive decisions and bad decisions. One of the things that even just happened with me and my son yesterday was he had said something and I wanted to correct it, but the way that I corrected it was from a place of, you've got to quit doing that. You need to know better. Like that kind of, which, if I had stopped myself to think through, it wasn't the best approach. And he really reacted defensively to it. And so taking a step back and asking him, okay, what was it in my approach just now that put you on the defensive? And he was able to say, I need you to remember that I'm only 13. I'm not an adult. And I was like, duh, of course. And so approaching it more from the place of, okay, hey, next time, buddy, when this happens, think about it like this, being able to address our kids more from a place of teaching and preparing them for the next time, rather than that punitive place of like, something's wrong with you, why would you do that? Is really important and really helpful for our kiddos in any stage of development, really, but especially in this stage when they're older, and we can fall into that trap so easily of thinking they're older. We've been over this 1,000 times. They maybe should know better, but in reality, they are still children. They're still learning, and their brain is not even fully developed. Something to consider too is just keeping that line of communication open, because you want to protect that connection with your child at all costs during these years. And when you find yourself engaging in these battles where, there's a behavior that you're wanting to address and you address it and then they get defensive and then it's this back and forth thing, try to take a step back, take a deep breath yourself, and be willing to yourself grow and learn and be wrong and make adjustments. Having that open door to ask your child, okay, how was my approach just now? How did you experience that? How did you experience me? How can I address this with you in a way that doesn't immediately put you onto the defensive? And be willing to own your mistakes as a parent, be willing to grow. And doing that communicates to the child that you care deeply about your connection with them. And it really is going to build that trust that you want to have with your kiddo moving forward.